of confused here. Let me move out here in the light to just completely blind you. Um, we're going to try another attempt at working on this. And I tried to get my Osmo camera over here, my DJI Action 4 or Osmo Action 4 for a live stream, and it just hadn't worked. So, doggone it. I'm sorry. We'll do better. What I'm going to do, let me see here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So, what we're going to do here, yeah, sorry about that. We'll chat about those other things tomorrow, Nathaniel. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to give you an update. I tried to get this out. We're on the WR450 engine. I've got the cases. I got the cases together. We've got the transmission shifting, all this. I'm going to just kind of show that for you. And I'm going to try to get a little bit of work done here. Overall, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the shift indexer in place. I'm just going to go ahead and start working on stuff. So this is my messy living room workshop. And I want to do a quick demonstration here. This is for my friend Tony, mainly for him to be able to see it, and anybody else that's interested. Live chat is a little wacky, all right? So if you're, like I saw Nathaniel's here, but I don't know how much, it went wacky on the last one. But one thing I want to demonstrate here is that the crankshaft is working very smoothly. I oiled it up real good. It's nice. I've put a new countershaft seal on it, new O-ring, and then the kit that came with all this for the transmission bearings came with this new, we're going to call it a bushing or a piece of the transmission that helps it seal. Let's call that. I put the new shift shaft seal down here, and so we're looking good. Okay. And do try to use the live chat, and if it doesn't work, send me something on my Instagram if you're not on there. But if you're my real friend, send me a DM, a Facebook DM. I don't want people really following me on my personal. You can do it on my Dewey's Garage, Dewey's_garage at Instagram if you have any serious questions that you want to ask. But where we're at right now is, I just wanted to show where we're at. Oh, it went back into gear, and now we're not in gear anymore. So I've got it in neutral. Our shifter is working great. Oh yeah, life's good. And so what I'm wanting to do is, before I do anything else, I want to get these parts in here. One of them is a wheel that indexes this drum, the shift drum here, and it's just a wheel that rides along this wheel in here. And you know what? I haven't turned the light on yet, but we're going to put this piece in place that sets, you probably have it blinded from your perspective, but it's going to set right down on here. And sometimes you just got to kind of get it into place. And then the next thing that we will do is there's an indexer that sits on the inside of this component, and then we will put the shift shaft into place. And it seems like not a lot until you go messing around with doing it. And every time that I say anything about doing it, I'm talking about it in a means where it means DEW, not DO. So I don't know. It's been a long day. I've been on my tractor bouncing around like a madman. So I reserve the right to get a little grace on this deal. All right. But I will check with the live chat here in a second just to make sure that it's working. Got my bolts. Here's our indexer. I'm going to set it. I'm going to just set it here on my floor. Jeez. There's your other bolt sitting right there. And here's the one that I need for this operation. I'll show you here in a second. Got our shift pal. Good. Okay. Okay. Feel good about it. Sort of. So before we go any farther, I'm going to go up here. Got all sorts of shit in my way. So I can kind of edge this out of the way without it being a problem. There we go. All right, we're going to check the live chat. Again, I only see one chat on here. Let's see, I got a DM. But I don't see any. Welcome to. All right, guarding my privacy. Learning. For whatever reason, it was wacky. So I can't see the live chat. Hey, everybody! I can't see the live chat. Send me something on Instagram if you want to contribute to the live chat. But if you folks want to have a discussion, go right ahead in there. Or somebody that is connected that wants to get me a message, I'm sorry. Oh, there's the light. Let there be light, friends. So this is what I'm going to install first. This spring, this wheel that indexes along the. This is the wheel itself, and then this bolt here. It's a pain in the rump, but I wonder, does that make? Let's see if this light makes it any better here. So if I turn the light off. Hell, the battery's charged up, so why not just leave it on? So if you really want to get something to me, send it to my Instagram. But what are we doing? We're putting this spring into place. It only goes a certain way. Again, I'm not a real mechanic. I just identify as one on the YouTubes. And, there are many techniques that would work on this. And that's a 10 millimeter. Do I have my 10 millimeter with me? Yeah, that's a 12. Okay. So what I'm going to do, see, what I had a problem with, folks, good grief, I'm blinding myself by seeing that. Okay. I got my new tool set over here. I think what I want to do, I'm going to find a deep well. I hope metric 10. Because this is a 10 millimeter. Bear with me, people. This stuff's kind of different for me. But we're just trying to get, oh, there they are. Hey. My eyes are getting tired. 10 millimeter deep well. It's a 1/4 inch drive. And I got a 3/8 drive out. Well, let's be neat and do some mise en place and put things away, keep it in its own places. So I got my 10 millimeter. I'm going to check it here. And what we're doing is we're indexing. We're getting our indexing set up for our transmission here on the WR450. And to remind you, other than, let's see, we replaced this countershaft, which you can see that those splines have been eaten off of by a loose countershaft sprocket bolt. And we've also replaced this third wheel. Here, you can see this is chunked out if it shows. It might not show. There's a chunk off of here, and that would eventually lead to a very sad fifth gear. And this is, you know, it's kind of a level, it can be a level 10 boss, or it can be a level 0 boss. It's been a while since I've played with one of these Yamahas. I actually somewhat prefer, let's see here. I probably did something wrong here. Yeah, I did. This has to have the spring in this slot, and the spring, other corner of the spring sets a certain way on the cases. And real mechanics probably wouldn't do some of these things the way I'm doing them. But I'm not a real mechanic, so take that. So I'm just orienting this on the bolt where it needs to go. Yeah, these are a little trickier on these Yamahas. But I'm going to go ahead and get this bolt started, and we'll see. Let's see if I'm going to have some success. I bet I might get a few threads in there so I don't completely destroy this thing. Okay, so I'm going to index this thing a little bit less direction. I think, actually, we're setting pretty good. While in doubt, use a large phallic type screwdriver to assert dominance. And you heard that slot, that clicking sound there that put this into place, and it appears, I'm going to use my light here. Oh yeah, it's down in its place. And the next thing is to make sure that this has settled. Oh yeah, there it is. It's settled into its indexing slot, and we'll finish up with that. And I should have the tension off of this. This is not usually the difficult component here. This is a relatively minimal thread. And I'm going to check with the comments here. My friends that are in here, if I'm going to let you know, if you put something in the live chat and I can't see it, you'll hear that I'm not responding to it. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to back this off just a little bit because this bolt has to settle into this slot. But if you get in on the live chat, please do, friends. And if it doesn't work, you guys have fun in it, but please remember to be respectful and don't get me demonetized, because I'm not even monetized anyway. Yeah, come on. This bolt has to set in here a certain way, and I'm just manipulating it. It turns out I'm rather spoiled with those Suzukis. But hang in there, folks. I don't think that's in its slot hole. But it might be. I think it is. We're going to try it. We're going to try it real quick, friends. I'm not going to go full hammer, but I'm going to check with the live stream chat and see. Okay, I don't see anybody's stuff, so doggone it. But if you do have some questions, All right. So Motonate is a mod. If he's still on there. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Okay. So I can't see anything still yet. Thanks for checking things out. Was it better with the light or not? I'm going to turn the light back on. It helps some. So I got that into place, and what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put this 12 millimeter on this and see if it's allowing me to index it. Oh, it is a quarter-inch drive here. Okay. Okay, so something's wacky. So we're going to back that off. I just got to move this into its slot so it's happy. Because there's a certain hole this thing can go for it to work. And since I'm not a real mechanic, it's okay for me to do this way. Oop, there, that looks kind of nice. That might just do what I want it to do. Yeah, that's going a lot smoother. So hopefully, this is why we do things a little bit at a time. I think it just did what I want it to do. Bear with me. I've wrestled with mine on my 426 and 400 many times. Let's just see here if this will go where it's supposed to go now. We may have to regroup. Yeah, it's not working right. All right, fair enough. It's been a while since I've done this stuff. I know what I've done now. Yeah, I've got to start over. I know exactly what the issue is now. When I see it, when I do it, and you see it, you're like, Dewey, you're an idiot. I'm going to say, yeah, I know. So. Thought there was a washer that went with that, but it is not. I may have to get on my phone here in a minute if this doesn't work, and we'll discontinue this stream. But I don't want to do that. Again, I have my notifications silented on my phone, so I have to look at it. I was really hoping for the Osmo camera to work for our purposes here. But it just wasn't in the cards apparently this evening. Okay. So this bolt is slotted, and it's a certain bolt that allows this to sit, and it doesn't need a washer. It's got to sit down on here perfectly. And meanwhile, we also have to get this down into its slot perfectly. So it's one of them things where we kind of have to do a couple things at once. It's annoying. It's not my most favoriteest thing to do, but we'll get there. We'll get there together. I think what I've done before, forgive the commentary. This is one of those difficult things I probably shouldn't even put on this, but my confidence put me in this position, and I was feeling really motivated. Oh, for you real folks that are loyal to the channel here, I think you might have heard me talk about the Silverado. I went and checked on it. The mechanic has gotten on it. He got the engine out of it, and he found one lifter and one lobe on the cam that was starting to eat itself. And I say by starting it, it was in not so good a shape. So I'm very pleased that we got it. He said to me, Dewey, this timing on getting this in here was a really good timing. So, you know, he's a good mechanic, and I'm thankful. This is the third displacement on demand that he's deleted this year. And, you know, Chevy was trying to do something good by it, but it ended up being not good. So, doggone it, Chevy. Why'd you do that to me? All right, so I'm in the slot correctly now. And that just moved into its place. We'll go back and do a final tightening if this is how I want it to be. I know it's not very exciting. There we go. So I don't know if you can see it from this angle. I'm gonna look. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the slot here so you can see it. And just be kind to me. Here's what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Sorry, friends. So here's what we just installed. This spring is down here. I'm looking at it. I'm going to make sure this spring is down in here properly. I'm just going to give it a little bit of, yeah. Make sure that's seated down in there, because we want it seated. Ooh. See how that moved? You might have seen it. I'm looking. Yeah, it needs to be down in there a little bit more. There it is. That's even gooder. So you can see how this, you're shifting with your shifter. We're all the way down. So forgive me here. There we go. So we're in first gear, I think. Yeah. No, that was 5th, 4th, 3rd. Oh. It's acting like it's binding, but it's not. It's because of this fresh. Oh, good grief. This is hard to do whilst trying to be a camera person. There we go. The shift fork's got to get with the program sometimes. So, forgive me. Okay, there we got 2nd. And this should be, oh, we got to do the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's still, sorry folks, sorry. And again, I can't see the live chat. Oh. So this in its own right is 5th gear. So we're in 5th. This would be, yeah, 4th. This would be 3rd. This would be 2nd. Oh, it's upset. Yeah, because this piece here, that's where neutral sets. That little in-between gear. Let's see if we can get it to go into it. That's where neutral is. And you see how this is not moving? That's our counter shaft from the other side. And this is our main shaft. And now, yeah, let it be, it's going to be grumpy because, again, it's expecting the engine. There we go. To be turning over. And we are in. Come on, sucker. And then we're also, okay. Is it my, nice try. Nice try, Alex. Ain't happening. But I will shout out Hugh Janus. Hugh Janus. But anyway, here we are. We're at that point. And I need both my hands again. Yeah, Alex, thanks for stopping in. Again, we're on the WR450 and we're doing stuff here. We're doing the final crap here, and make sure and use your total gem as a place to put your camera and your charging station for everything. Anyway, here we are. Dadgummit. WR450 things. And for whatever reason, that's not wanting to shift into first. And now it's shifted into neutral again. Oh, we're in first. Okay, cool. So we're in first. And the reason why we know we're in first for sure, I'm turning the main shaft where your clutch sits on a lot. And our counter shaft is only turning a little bit. Again, as a demonstration, we're going to do part of a turn. And that's our neutral. This counter shaft is not moving. Second. And when we're doing these on the side like this, it helps to turn the counter shaft in the direction that you're wanting it to go. And that fully engages and moves the shift forks and the the components of the transmission in the correct direction. So now we're engaged in second. We're engaged in third again, and I'm turning it to where it engages the main shaft, and we're fully engaged. Note how I'm turning this, and this is turning more. Fourth, yeah, it's directly engaged there. Fourth, turning more, and hear that? And there's fifth. And we have a little bit of resistance on this, and that's because of our brand new countershaft seal and O-ring and that spacer component. And then I like leaving these in neutral to have our starting point. So we're downshifting, fourth, third, second, and neutral. Okay. So I'm going to do a final tightening. Okay. On this piece. And this is where, oh boy, it gets fun. So I'm going to check our chat. Okay. Oh, this is a Yamaha WR450. This is an 06 model. This is an 06 model WR450 by Yamaha. And the thing about these is, I don't know if you're here from the DRZ content, but it's the WR450 had in-frame oil while they were still steel frame. And I think they moved to aluminum in 07, I think. So, but the WR400s and YZ400s and 426s, so 98 through 2002, the YZs, wait a second, I think 03, 04, and 05, don't hold me to that. I think those were also in-frame oil. 04 might have been the last year. I don't recall. But the WRs maintain it through 06. And so they had about 1.5 quarts, maybe a little bit over that oil capacity. And it's just like the DRZ, except it didn't have quite as much in-frame oil capacity. But so these are really good. But until 09, all of them up to 08, the WRs, they had this weak third wheel, and they chunked out on us. And let's see. And again, I'm sorry for all the people that may have already seen this, but there's a chunk missing out of this piece. And eventually what that would do would be, it'd just skip out of, let's see, it'd skip out of fifth gear eventually. And we'd have to tear them out. But they fixed those in 09, as far as I understand. Okay. So, we've got to be careful not to lose this spacer. I'll show you here in a minute. Oh boy. And this one's, you know, it's kind of a pain. These only want to come on or come off a certain way. They only want to go on a certain way. Oh wow, this is a little different. Okay. So what we have here, we have these spring. I'm trying to do this so you can see it, and I can't see it. What you can see is we have this spring, and we have this little dowel that goes in these slots. There's two of them. one on each side of this mechanism. And they absolutely will go down in your engine. And you'll have to get a magnet and get it out, and that's fun. So we have these pals that fit in here a certain way. The rounded end goes in these things. You just got to find the one that has the right position on it. Yeah. So I think this one actually goes on the other side. So on the DRZ, these pals are slotted and they only go in one way. Okay, so this one's got this imprint right here, so I'm going to put it on that side. Yeah. This gets a little precarious. Forgive me if my narration suffers. Yeah, I think I go from the top down. Yeah. There we go. So I think there's a way of doing this without this piece on here. But I don't think you have to. And I'm almost certain that I have this on here improperly because it will not index. So let's start this over again. It's been a couple minutes since I've had this apart, and I'm just doing this from memory. Perhaps this is the direction it wants to be in. I'm just gonna semi-permanently, forgive me for my narration here. I just wanted to share some more of this build. And I'm going to check with the live chat. Thanks for checking in with us there. And more people, please engage with it. The last one that I did, it did not function correctly. Oh, almost lost the bolt. We don't want to do that. I don't think I have this properly aligned. Who else is enjoying watching me struggle? All right, we'll just, I'm pretty certain I have that incorrect. I'm gonna check the live chat here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I probably need to, Carter. Yeah, we're going to invest in some of those. No, this is a WR. Oh, Ajax. Hello. This is a WR 450 engine. We've been replacing the countershaft seal on here. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to go back and look at the series, we replaced, where's that sucker at? Our countershaft here. These splines on the countershaft have been eaten up. It's been allowed to get loose, and it allowed the splined splines on the countershaft sprocket to eat itself. Yeah, this is not happy. Yep, we gotta take it back off of there. It appears, Moto friend peoples, that my arrogance may have gotten the better of me, thinking that I could just go in here and wrench on this thing live from memory alone. But, you know, the struggle's real sometimes, and we just gotta learn our way in which we learn. Yeah, that appears to be the way we want it to be on there. So, we are not slotted in there. That's why we're having trouble. I didn't have both of those in this space. Once we get them in this space, then they'll behave maybe. Oh, don't fall out. It fell out. Thanks for being patient with me. You know, we're doing this live, and it's kind of like live TV, but I'm not a professional. So take that. Yeah, these pals are not my pals. Okay. So those are extended. And I'm just trying to get them down into the slots on the shift drum here. Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I may have to consult my manual. Yeah, because this goes. Bear with me, people. That definitely isn't the way that goes. Well, this is not the slightest bit embarrassing. Yeah. I got... Yo. Yeah, man. Wow, my live chat is actually working. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Appreciate you. Well, we got 15 folks. What's up? What's everybody doing? If you would be so kind, you can go ahead and check in on the chat. I'd appreciate you. Check in on the chat, folks. And watch me struggle on something that should be really simple. Yeah, to go back to our friend's suggestion there regarding the magnetic tray, I think that's an excellent idea. Okay, so this... Okay, so we do have this slot here. I'll have to consult with this, I think. As I struggle, while I'm sitting here on the struggle bus. I'm almost certain that it goes this direction here. We have our slot here. And I remember this. These don't hang down. And by all means, I'm not a real mechanic. In all reality, I'm going to be investing in some time with the manual, I think, tonight. Okay. Okay. So we have a slot here. So this can turn free. This is what we want. We want this thing to index and index and index. Yeah, now I remember. That was a lucky one. I sat my magnet down right over here beside me for obvious reasons. Oop. Good. Yeah, the effects of the day are starting to wear on me, peoples. My dexterity's going. almost certain that's how it needs to go. All right. And this one is the struggle bus of all struggle buses that you guys have gotten hang with me on. But did we just make progress? You think so? That might have just been it, my friends. That might have just been it. I'm going to check in with the live chat here in a second. If you haven't said anything, please do so now. Some people like to edit their live videos, and I probably should, but I'm not going to. So we're not really getting a lot accomplished today, and I apologize for that. Pardon me, my dinner is talking to me. I'm going to get a short well, 10 mil on this job, and perhaps that can save me some trouble. Perhaps not. This is not how this tool is supposed to be used or intended to be used. If this is the hardest part of this whole building experience, wouldn't that be funny, friends? On these Yamahas, I do look forward to this part the least amount. Mainly, it's just annoying. Because sometimes, as I've learned to do these, come on, sucker. I know you want to get where you're supposed to be. Oh. Ideally, I would have a really short, shallow 10 mil here, like one of these. That's all standard. It's not METs. No, this is 10 mil. It's just right here. Or at least it should be. Yeah, okay. Had the tool right here and I didn't even know it. I'm not familiar with this tool set. I haven't gotten a chance to use it. Could that have been the simple solution to this problem all along? Huh. For crying out loud. All right. guess we'll do this one last. Perhaps that'll allow me to get it in there. I'm feeling like my butt's getting kicked by this simple 10 millimeter, there it is, bolt. That's annoying. So I got that one not snug, but it's secured. Should be able to move this one into place. We're coming into contact with this bolt here, and I think that's an indicator that we've got an issue with clearance. So, and that's why these aren't aligning, but perhaps not. No. Now I'm just going to put these down, hand tight here, and so we have this, and we've got our shift shaft sitting over here. Summers. Our shift shaft setting right here somewhere. It's close by. I'm wearing down, folks. I'm wearing down. I'm going to grab our shift shaft out of the bucket of parts here. Here it is. And let me check with the live chat, see if anybody's talking trash. Something. What's up, Eric? Yeah, thanks, folks, for tuning in. Yeah, we're going on. Did I knock myself off a kelter? No wheelies this time. So I'm kind of cleaning up this shaft. And I've got my little bit of grease here. And I like greasing this shaft because I want to make sure, well, you know what's coming. If you love it, you lube it. So we're greasing up this shaft. Oh, real quick here. Since I'm a classy guy, gotta have my pinky off of there. There we go. I'm just gonna set this down into this slot here. Again, this is just for temporary testing purposes. And our little washer that I told you not to forget. You forgot about it, didn't you? Yeah. I was hoping we would make more progress, but I knew there was a chance I could be stymied by something like this. Okay, we got our shift shaft. And we've got something out of whack, methinks. Nope. And I have something out of whack because that's not indexing. It'll go that far. That's why we do it now, not later. Yeah. Sorry friends, I was hoping to have a successful installation there, but it's just I'm not as proficient as I thought I was going to be on this. That's a little disappointing on my part. I'm going to try just a little bit more here. I'm going to try just a little bit more on here, and we're going to call it a wrap. But it's frustrating when I don't have my resource printed out here that I should be using. That's one mark down on me. So I'm going to have to go into my manual that I have digitally in here. But let's recap. I'm not going to do this stuff live on here apparently, but I'm going to recap here after I do it. There we go, we got that in place. That's probably what it wants to be, is right there. We're going to try it, okay? But you just have to have your stuff out in front of you. What we're going to do when I check back in is I might just have this whole clutch side installed. Kickstart, we have an idler gear that goes here. Obviously we have our clutch. I have a oiler, that's part of the oil galleries here. We'll have our shift shaft on, this piece on. We have a little idler here that turns our oil pump. We might want that. And we have our primary drive gear and our counterbalancer. So I'll play around with this just a little bit more on camera, and then we're probably going to throw in the towel on it. We did upload, we meaning me, uploaded a video today. I hope you checked it out. It was kind of saying what all I had going on in the garage, and I just about blew it there. Great. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. Yeah, sometimes you just got to do stuff like this that doesn't go right and keep your cool, maybe. We've got to get this bottom end back together. And then I've got to do my top end service that I like to do on these. Yeah, this is frustrating me. We got to do our top end service. I've got to pull the valves out. I'm going to put valve guide seals. I'm not, whatever oil, and it might have been the previous owner to the current owner, because he hasn't had it a crazy amount of time. There was just a nasty oil film in this engine, and I think this bike might have been a stunted bike. It might have been wheelied a lot. I don't know. I know one thing, when the thing gets broken back in, it's going to get wheelied by me, because this is a pain in the butt. Okay, so let's try yeah, it's not going to let me do it here. That's one of the things that makes these difficult, is you got to put them on as an assembly. I think I might have Tetrised my way into it one time to be able to do this, but it just, it's annoying. So see, with this assembled like this, we put it into place. there's just nothing to hold everything together. Got a powel that's out of place. This is frustrating, friends. I don't like looking like shit on the live stream. It hurts my fragile ego. Yeah, the powel. That is not what you want to have happen. All right. We're going to end it. This is going to be one of those ones. Before I end it here, I've got to find our components. Okay, I think I've got those on our magnet now. And that's going to be it. This is kind of embarrassing. Playing with your... yeah, that's what I do. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Sorry we didn't get a lot done. Boo. See you next time.